going, and I hope that answered your question okay enough.
It did, and you've broken it down very beautifully and in a very simplistic manner. Because when people hear artificial intelligence, they actually have a mental block because, like you say, they're actually thinking of all these robots that they've seen in the Hollywood movies, and they just think, well, my brain is not going to go there. So thank you so much for breaking it down so beautifully, and for making us understand in very simple terms what artificial intelligence is. And also, I find that when you talk about AI, there's a lot of other elements that come into play. There's a whole talk about machine learning and natural language processing. What are these terminologies, and where are we encountering machine learning, for example, or where are we coming in contact with natural language processing in our everyday lives as human beings? So twofold definition and the application of what machine learning is, and natural language processing, and the application where we're encountering these elements.
Sure. It's such a good question, Sarah. Again, because this technology is greatly misunderstood. Even the term artificial intelligence is like a holistic term of a whole group of technologies. My mentor is Dr. Jacques Ludik in Cape Town from Cortex Logic, and he often speaks about the smart technology era, and I've adapted to use that term as well. More so than just AI or fourth industrial revolution. This is technology that is smart because it can learn, it to some extent can think, it can reason, and so forth. So machine learning is in a very basic way what the word suggests. It's the ability for machines to learn, but we as humans still have to train these models. So for instance, if you receive documents from a customer, then we can, through intelligent optical character recognition or computer vision, extract the text, typed or even handwritten text these days, from the document. If it's a purchase order, we know that you typically have top left the company's detail, contact details, registration number, and then you have the purchase order number, and then you've got the line items and the VAT and the total. So a lot of algorithms are trained to look for specific text in specific areas. But what if the document is not in the structure it expects? And that's where the models can be taught and can learn. In other words, now I see what looks like a customer address, but it's not top left, but top right. But because of the structure, because it's firstly name, street address, area, city, postal code, from my learnings and from my interaction as an algorithm, there's a good chance that this is the address and not the actual items that's being ordered. And the same applies to natural language understanding or chatbots or conversational AI. And that's machine learning plays a great role there as well, because we all have different ways of speaking. We've got different accents. We've got different ways and nuances around how we use our words. And these algorithms can adapt because they can learn that people in Johannesburg, for instance, typically speak in a way that's different from people in Cape Town, even if it's English. Especially so, of course, if it's different languages. So, a lot of us will utilize this technology every day without knowing it. If you have a smartphone, everything almost in that phone is infused with some sort of AI technology. If we use Siri or Google Home or Alexa to give instructions through our voice, it recognizes it. I've got a Google Home device, and my 8-year-old son will say, "Hey, Google, what is the weather like tomorrow?" And it will immediately, accurately, almost always accurately answer his question. The challenge for us in Africa is that we've got 2,000 to 3,000 different languages or dialects. And most of the training models, well, almost all of them are based on either American English, British English, or the major European languages, Portuguese, French, Spanish, and so forth. There's a lot of organizations in South Africa and in Africa that's working on building models, but from scratch, because it doesn't exist, to understand Xhosa and Zulu and other African languages. So We use this a lot. Even if you don't have a smartphone, if you have a bank, if you have a mobile phone provider, if you have an insurance provider, a lot of what they do to give you good service is infused with this technology, Sarah.
Thank you.